Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Your Overseas Home seminar. I'm Rosie Bradley. I'm a senior writer at Your Overseas Home and Property Guides. I'm happy to be joined today by Carsten Ryder from Vincent Real Estate in Spain. We are pre-recording this seminar for our fantastic virtual property event on Saturday, the 25th of March. Carsten can't actually be with us on that day, so that's why we're pre-recording. You will be able to speak to his team, Vincent Real Estate, at their booth in the exhibition hall on the event day. So Carsten, I'll pass it over to you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Vincent?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for the introduction, Rosie. My name's Carsten Ryder. I've lived in Spain since 1998, been involved in property sales and clients introductions, etc. since that time. Vincent Real Estate have been established in 1999, still going strong. I've weathered a number of economic and global crises since then, and come out back, still here, very strong. We can help you to find what you're actually looking for. That's about it, really, Rosie.
Lovely. Thanks so much for being here today. I'll just share your presentation if you want to kick off.
Certainly. At the end of the day, I'm sure you can all read. We're Vincent Real Estate, as I've said, established 24 years ago. That was in 1999. We have many multilingual staff. We have an inland office in Benihoffer, which is 12 to 15 minutes inland from Guadamar Beach. We've also got a coastal office in Playa Flamenca. We've won a few awards throughout the years, which have basically contributed towards our success. However, we know we're good at what we do, and that's why people come to us. I'll flip over. We cover pretty much from Alicante city right down through to the Mar Menor, which covers the area of Los Alcázares, etc., Torrevieja, Santa Pola, Elche, and inland to Quesada. As I've previously said, we have two offices, one covering inland, the other covering coastal. Two airports that are actually quite close to us. The main one is Alicante Airport, which you generally find is about a 30 to 35 minute drive away from the most of the properties that we've got, whether it's down the coast or inland. If we haven't got a property that you actually want to buy, we pride ourselves on searching the whole market with other agents to assist you with this. What can I say? We can be a one-stop shop if you allow us to do that for you, to take out the stress and hassle of you looking on the website and the internet and the various other portals that are available. If you give your details to us, we will search along the coastline and inland for your needs of the for the south of the Costa Blanca.
Carsten, just a quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I'm
okay.
a bit delayed. Just a quick question on that note. So let's say I've found a property in Alicante but that's not on your books. Would you still be able to assist the process?
Yes, absolutely. It's all dependent upon whether or not the property that you found on a website or a property portal is available on the open market. I think maybe customers surfing the web don't realize that there's thousands of properties on websites that are actually bank owned, therefore repossessions. Repossessions have their own inherent difficulties, should we say, when you want to buy them. So that inquiry we wouldn't deal with mainly because of the difficulties that a client might have with them. Otherwise, we can certainly find if a client gives us a property that they wish to view and it's with an agent, an actual agent, as opposed to a bank, then we can certainly assist them with their viewing and help them along the way.
That's good to know, thanks. I'll let you continue.
Okay, so at this moment in time, we've got a couple of properties that would be, the first one there is just 20, well, I don't want to be specific. It's short of 30 minutes away from Alicante Airport down south in an area called La Laguna, which people might know be famous for the lemon tree market. It's a new build, however, a resale. So you've got the new build quality with the fact that it's a resale. So you don't actually pay as much tax on that because it's a resale new build. Next, we'll move along to De Nueva, which is around 12 minutes drive away from the nearest beach. It's inland. Just on the outskirts of the Spanish village, walking distance to most facilities that people would want, like a bar, a small supermarket, a restaurant, etc., etc., and also very close to the bus stop to go and see Elche Football Club play at their home games. I do that on a Saturday whenever it's playing, by the way. Punta Prima, here we go. This is a property that's very close to the beach, within 15 minutes walk of the actual beach, an apartment. It's typical of what might be available for that money on not the beach side of the road, but on the other side of the road. So you basically walk underneath the road to actually get to the beach. Beach side would be more expensive by about 20%, only because of the location. Maybe you know all this for yourselves. You know what your budget is when you're coming across here to view property. You should also be available to have the knowledge that that budget is in probably pounds if you're watching from the UK, and it should be fixed against the euro. Dependent on fluctuations of sterling to euro, there's a massive difference between £110,000, let's say 2 years ago, than £110,000 now. You need to be fully aware of what your spending power is in euros by contacting a company that deals with currency exchange, such as Smart Currency, which we have worked with for many, many years. When you're coming over, please be honest with your agent, what your budget is, etc. We as an agent want to find and accomplish the dream that you've got before you land in Alicante Airport, for instance. We've been there, we've done it. We maybe had the sad stories back in the 90s when we didn't achieve it, but we did finally achieve it because we had the actual agent that helped us to achieve it. Otherwise, all I can say is open up, tell the agent what you want, and let them help you deal with it. Obviously, we as a family company here at Vincent Real Estate, we are very, should I say, vocal in our belief and how we deal with our clients. We want to meet you in the local supermarket and say hello, get invited to a barbecue, and your christenings of any grandchildren or whatever, because you have trusted us. I can't say it any simpler than that. Also be made aware that you do need €2,500 as a deposit to secure a property. Have possibly a solicitor in place as well. If not, we at Vincent Real Estate can assist you with that. And I've compounded on that already. Use a currency company such as Smart to secure your finances, so you know exactly when you come over what you have got to spend. I think that's about it from me.
Oh, I've got a few questions for you, Carsten. That I think our listeners will find useful. So, what types of property are the most popular on the Costa Blanca, isn't it, that you're typically covering? What's the most sought after? Is it villas, apartments?
That's it's a very difficult question to answer that. To answer, to be honest with you, Rosie, we have got many different types of clients requiring many different things. We have the British clients that may wish to have a bolt hole as it is, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment or townhouse for maybe 100,000 to 120,000 euros. Or well, I'll have to give you a few recent examples. A Dutch client wishing to have a house to live in, but wants it built to his own specification. That would be in the 400,000 euro plus bracket. Then we've got clients that want to have a country feel, but not be too far away from local amenities, because in 10 years' time, they might not want to drive and want to walk. They would be in the 250,000 plus bracket. We don't deal with just the British market. The British market is around 40 to 45% of what we deal with. The rest of the market would be coming from the whole of Europe, to be honest with you. And each and every single one of them have got different needs. For instance, we have Scandinavian clients that love the winter here because it's plus 20 degrees to what they get in Sweden, Norway, Finland, or Denmark. To us, that's quite strange because we live here in Spain. I don't know if that actually answers the question. However, the broad range of clients is such that we deal with everybody.
So a real variety of what's
Absolutely.
out there. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to know. How important do you think a viewing trip is? Do you have clients that like put offers down without a viewing trip, or do you really recommend it?
Again, that's a difficult one, Rosie.
Sorry.
No. Thanks for putting me on the spot. If I would suggest, if a client knows the area and knows exactly where the property is, with help from us, such as Google Map locations, videos, etc., then yeah, not a problem as far as it's concerned for us, nor for them. We would normally advise that clients, if they see something on the website that we know is going to be sold within a certain space of time, that they can put a deposit down subject to viewing. Now, that subject to viewing has to happen within 14 days of the deposit being placed with us. If they don't like the property when they come over, they get the money back. It's a win-win situation. Alternatively, on the flip side of the coin, we do have investors that buy properties based on potential rental income over the phone. So it's not just about clients that are here on the ground now. We have telephone clients from all over the world that would say, okay, what is 70,000 euros going to get me? What is my rental potential? Can you rent it out for me? If the answers are yes, 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 we will get a deposit. They will buy outside of the country, well, in the country, but they will arrange power of attorney. That property will be sold without the actual buyer physically seeing the property, because we have it rented the following day for them.
Wow, that's really interesting. In terms of organising the viewing trip, can buyers do that through you, or do they do that independently?
Anybody that wants to come here to buy can do whatever they wish to do. There is nothing worse, though, for somebody that's coming over here to buy to deal with agent A, agent B, C, D, E, F, G, and in a 3-day trip, once the 3rd day is over, that client will not know what they viewed, who it's been with, where it was, and they will go back to wherever they've come from completely confused. So that's the first part of the question answered. Therefore, the best situation that a client can be in would be to leave us to organise the viewings, because we're not a company that just organises viewings on our own properties. We will research the market and find the properties that client should view if they have given us the correct requirements and budgets that they wish to view in. And then after we've organised the viewings, that client views with us. Even though it might be with 6 different agents, we are always present at every viewing to log down exactly which property it is, so that the client doesn't get confused about what they've seen, what they like, where it was, and which way the sun shone.
No, I can imagine that would be. I mean, even when I was looking at flats in London, I was like, which one was the one with the nice kitchen? So I imagine that's super useful.
Yeah.
So this might be a tricky one. I know you mentioned how important it is to have a currency company behind you so you can really understand your budget. But what would you say the common pitfalls are for international buyers in Spain?
Yes, again, Rosie, thank you. I would say the common pitfalls would be the logic of the individual thinking that everything in Spain works the same as their own country. That would be, to me, the biggest one. Things in Spain don't work the same as they do in the UK. They don't work the same as they do in France or Belgium or wherever the client comes from. Added to that, if we're looking at the British market, for instance, how it works in Spain is, if you want to buy a property, you have to deposit 2,500 euros as that deposit to secure the property, to ensure that nobody else buys it. Whereas compared to the UK, you don't have to do that. You can just use your solicitor there. There's no commitment from either party, just pieces of paper flying around the place. Here in Spain, there's a commitment of 2,500 euros straight away. After 14 days of the 2,500 euros has been paid, the buyer solicitor has searched the property, done the legal processes, and hopefully, if everything is okay, ensured that the buyer is buying what they have seen on paper and visually, i.e. The property, including the furniture, for example, front garden. Just like it is in the UK, the legal searches have to be done. Here in Spain, they're done the same way as they are in the UK. However, as I've explained, the process is money has to be put down first. If the legal searches don't come back as correct, then the client gets their money back. That's contractual. That's written, unless there's an agreement between both the buyer and the seller that everything that there is an agreement or a compromise or whatever the situation may be. We do negotiate at this end between both parties, because generally we have a foreign buyer and a foreign seller. So there has to be, both parties don't necessarily live here. We have to speak to both parties and negotiate and mediate in the middle.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good. In terms of the 14-day deposit, let's say I've put my deposit down, I've viewed it, I love the property, and I've put in my offer. What's the process after that, and how long does that typically take?
Okay, let's start, back from the beginning. The €2,500 is only put down once the offer is agreed. So
Right.
let's say you've offered €114,000 for a 2-bed, 1-bath townhouse in Montemar, Algorfa. Once that's agreed, then we sign a contract, the buyer signs a contract, and the €2,500 is handed over. Then the buyer has got their solicitor to deal with the 14-day break before they have to pay the next amount of money. I've mentioned that to you. The normal completion time, or can be, I'm saying normal because everybody's got different circumstances, from the deposit being given of 2,500 through to the completion can be as little as 28 days. The norm is 6 weeks. However, dependent on the circumstances of each individual, which are discussed at the very point of the deposit, it can be longer. I.e., if the seller says we need 3 months to move out because we've got somewhere else to buy, or we've got furniture removal, that can be discussed. If the buyer says, our funds are not ready until, for instance, the 15th of May, then that can be worked on. As long as each party is open and honest with each other, then it's worked on to get a finite date to start with, and then by negotiation with each party's solicitor can have month-by-month extensions. So again, broad question, it can happen very quickly or slowly, as the client, as the buyer and seller wants.
Yeah, depends on the client then.
Absolutely.
Fab. And what about if a client hasn't got a specific location in mind? What would you advise that in that scenario?
Okay. Well, that's a sit-down job over a glass of wine and a nice table to really find out where somebody wants to be and what they want to achieve. There's many different ways. Well, really, it's just a chat with somebody for them to say, well, I've got grandchildren and I want them to have a communal pool. I'd like them to be near a beach. I don't want to drive, so I want to be able to walk with them to a restaurant or whatever. So that bit is all about conversation with the client that can generally only take place face to face or over the phone, email, or any other form of communication that we've got. That is difficult to gauge until we know exactly what a client really wants.
No, it's good to know that, like, that you're able to. Well, obviously, you're the experts out there, so you know what each area offers. But it's good to know that they could come to you with their requirements, and you'd be able to suggest places. So I think that's about all we've got time for. Thanks so much for all your insightful tips and advice, Carsten.
No problem.
Everyone listening, we do recommend that you get in touch with Vincent Real Estate directly to discuss your requirements in detail. They will have a booth within the exhibition hall at the event, and you'll be able to speak to Carsten's colleagues and let them know if there's anything that caught your eye on this presentation, or if the properties jumped out at you. So thanks again, and have a great day, and happy property hunting. Thanks, Carsten.
Thank you.
Thanks.